Let's look at a new poll that shows a majority of Americans believe that President Trump has committed an impeachable offense and should be removed from office. That's according to a new Ipsos 538 poll this morning. 57% of Americans polled agreed that Trump committed an impeachable offense, unchanged since December 16th. 41% disagreed, up 1 point. 52% said there is enough evidence to remove Donald Trump from office. That's like that Fox News poll we saw several weeks ago. 45% there is not enough evidence. But 52%, a clear majority, say there's enough evidence to remove Donald Trump from office. And 55% of Americans said they disapprove of President Trump's handling of the impeachment process. Only 28% approved. 52% of Americans said that the House should not delay the Senate trial of Trump. 45% believe that they should wait. And 86% said that senators should be impartial jurors, unlike Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham. 10% said they should be guided by their party on how to vote. Who were those 10%? And 57% also agreed that new witnesses and testimony should be heard. That's 57% said new witnesses and testimony should be heard during the trial. 39% disagreed. My gosh, Gene Robinson. If impeachment has been a bad political play for Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump would hate to see what a good political play would look like, because those numbers are devastating for the president, and the numbers are actually quite hopeful for Democrats who believed they needed to do the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've never had an impeached president seeking re-election, so we didn't have Andrew Johnson would like to be renominated, but that was never in the cards. And so we didn't really have a data point to look at for the political impact of impeachment. But there was no reason to think that it would be good for the impeached president. That just always seemed to me counterintuitive, that if you're found to have committed a high crime or misdemeanor by the House of Representatives, and you've been called on the carpet in the most extreme and meaningful way that Congress can do, how could that possibly be a positive for you? There are people in Trump world who believed it would be. I think they just had been just drinking the Kool-Aid and not taking an objective look at it. And so now you have substantial majorities of Americans, clear majorities of Americans, who think he committed an impeachable offense, who want to see an actual fair trial, who want to hear new evidence. And those numbers are holding for Nancy Pelosi, if not getting better and better for her. I think her political calculation has certainly been borne out.
And by a clear majority, Americans want to see the president removed from office as well. Tom Nichols. So we have a president in the middle of an impeachment crisis who now, through his decision last night, has placed America squarely in the middle of an international crisis.
And I don't think that's going to help him. This is a president who ran on staying out of Middle East conflict, was heavily critical of the Bushes and his predecessors. And now, whether people think he's trying to wag the dog or not, I think even were he not being impeached, this would raise some eyebrows. For a guy who said, I don't want to get into these things, he just took out one of the senior officials of the Iranian regime, almost guaranteeing a conflict. What's really interesting about those numbers is
Tom,
he's in Nixon territory.
Tom, we really couldn't name something else that he could do short of sending troops into a country that would be more provocative, could we? That would move America closer to war than what he chose to do last night.
No, this is about it. I mean, he has sent, for somebody who claims that he's going to pull us out of all of these places, he's actually sent troops into these places, including into Saudi Arabia, which his supporters don't seem to mind. I mean, one thing that I think this should underscore is that when it comes to Trump's base, they just don't hold him responsible for anything, and I doubt they will in this case. I doubt that most of the people out there that are going to support him on this really understand who Soleimani is. They will be caught by surprise when the Iranians finally respond. But I don't think it's also going to help him out of this jam. I think that nothing has helped him out of this jam because he's a serial confessor. And he keeps incriminating himself. And every day that goes by piles up more evidence in favor of impeachment. So I think I agree that this rally around the flag effect isn't going to happen. And I don't think this is going to help him very much.
All right, coming up, one of Florida's most prominent Republicans joins us to explain how his opposition to Donald Trump cost him lifelong friends, law clients, and ultimately his job. And yet he has no regrets. We'll talk to this former powerhouse in the Republican Party coming up next on Morning Joe.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.